Hello, and welcome to another bonus episode of Hanging with the Howards. In this episode, we're going to be discussing some of the random women that have been making comments, on the podcast or, on social media. So, the title of this episode is going to be Who Are All of These Women?
I plead the fifth. I
Nope,
mean, what better way to
not
start
an
the show?
option.
I mean, it is the best way to start a
Not,
show. Is I plead the fifth.
not an option.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness, I'm on trial, folks.
Yes. Okay. This is the trial of Mr. Howard here on all of these women that been making comments. And they're good comments, they're positive comments. So, we first started doing the podcast. We see different women. Okay, I would recognize some. I was like, oh, okay, that was so nice. That was a really sweet comment. Then I would start seeing a couple comments. It's like, huh. So who is this woman? And it always starts, well, you know, back in the day. So we're gonna delve into we're not gonna say any names. And like I said, the comments were all really, really sweet. However, we're gonna discuss a little bit, about these women
What what
on this bonus episode today.
what can I say? Ladies love country boys.
Okay. That's not good enough. That ain't good enough, ladies. We're not gonna take that answer. Try again.
Hey,
Try again. Okay, so y'all remember on a previous episode, was that the dating episode? He
uh,
was talking about, being, involved with like 5 or 6 women before, he met me. And I think a couple of these women have maybe uh reached out or commented or something, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
all right. Let me break it down to you, okay? So when I met you, and this was the pilot episode of Hanging with the Howards. And again, fans, thank you for taking the opportunity to join us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Any little bit helps. Any feedback helps as well. Be
Definitely.
sure to comment uh, in YouTube or Spotify or Apple as well. So again, we just want to take that time to thank you for tuning in and listening to our wonderful podcast. But
Definitely.
in order to defend myself, the very first pilot episode that we had, I said when I first met you, I was like talking to 4 or 5 or 6 different women at the same time.
Hmm.
And truth be told, like, hey, once again, ladies love country boys.
Hmm.
And they couldn't help what they saw. I ain't gonna lie. They couldn't help it. I mean, I'm not Tom Cruise, Bradley Cooper, but man, I am Brian Howard. So, yeah,
The
oh yeah, the Brian Howard. That's right. Good catch right there.
You're
So,
welcome.
I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, was yeah, at some point you got to have your options wide open in the dating pool. I was like wide open. Hey, the more the merrier. Now, it, in this particular situation, I get why you might be a little upset, a little frustrated. Truth be told, I get that. But what I should be upset and frustrated about is the bank account took a hit, man. The bank account, because it's not cheap taking all these women out to dinner or anything like
Mhm.
that, movies. So in terms of things, obviously, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 different women. But now we got women that will comment, "Hey, that was an awesome podcast," or like the podcast, which again we totally appreciate. But there's always a story, always a story. I'll
Mhm.
give you an example. Like this one person commented on our podcast, and then you all of a sudden just ask a question and go, well, who is this person?
Mhm. 'Cause I want to know.
And I'm like, yo, I went to high school with that person. I mean, and then
But
I
it
gotta
never
break it,
stops there. It never stops there,
but then
though.
I gotta break it down and say, like, look, when I was in high school, I mean, hey, I like the women. What can I say? You know, and then that's the trickle down effect to, life after high school. There's college, and then there's, you know, jobs and states, and so I certainly get that frustration.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to figure it out, ladies, because I'm just saying, you know, everybody needs a Brian in their life, because he's sweet, he's caring, he's all of the above. Not my Brian, though. A Brian is great,
I
but not my Brian.
I,
So,
I
I'm
think
just saying, ladies.
if I could interject, I think this is like a little bit of jealousy.
No, it's
I, th-
not.
I think this is a little bit of
No.
jealousy. Let me ask this. Let me ask this. Okay, so you out here on these streets being asking me questions about, well, who is this person and who is this person, and then like, look, I won't call it out, but like I remember when we were moving from Arkansas to Virginia, and I got the opportunity to meet one of the guys that you used to date. And truth be told, I was like, but when I saw this guy, let me tell you something. When I saw this guy, I was like, man, she should have married that guy.
I
I ain't
cannot
gonna
believe
lie.
you even brought this up. See,
So let me ask this. So what is it about the women directly that that I guess jogs your brain to probably ask the question? Is it you just don't know the person, or like what is it about that particular issue?
well, really, it's just mainly just curiosity at this point. You have a lot of female friends, co-workers,
Facts.
ex-co-workers, and all of
Facts.
that. Like, okay. So basically, I'm just trying to get to know, some of your circle, you know, and which I've noticed that, I mean, guys, we haven't really had a whole lot of guys to comment, you know. So it just makes me a little curious, not jealous, but, just a little curious as to who some of the women are. And like I said, ladies, it's always a backstory. It's just like, oh, this person made a really nice comment. Who is this person? Oh, yeah, I met her, when I worked in Grambling. And then it goes on with the little story. So, see, what happened was, we went out on a few dates, you know. So I'm just trying to just get to know his circle, a little bit, but no jealousy here, just curiosity.
Well,
That's it.
curiosity
No,
killed the cat.
no,
But cheers to all those men out there, by the way.
whatever.
Um, but no, I wanted to ask obviously that particular question because I mean I understand, but I also feel like there needs to be like a circle of trust, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like obviously, I have a lot of females, you know, from all types of circles that I've been in, whether it's Grambling, Delaware, wherever it may be.
mhm.
Fortunately, I don't have much in Texas. I leave that to somebody else, like my ex. Okay, she can have all of Dallas if she wants, and I'm sure she has. But in this
We need to
particular
edit that out.
particular circle, you
Yeah,
know,
so bad.
it's people supporting people
Hmm.
and different adventures, and I think that that's the beauty of things, right? Is I'm perfectly happy being married to you as well, and then yeah, I got these other circles which were past, you know. Um, yeah, there were 4 or 5 that I was seeing or talking to prior to meeting you, but at the same time,
He says it with that little smirk. Can y'all see that? I wasn't gonna say nothing, but y'all see a little smirk that it's on his face as he's saying this. So I'm just trying to take it all in. Okay, continue.
I can't.
Mhm.
Um, but at the same time, it's about supporting other people and other
It is.
adventures. And so I always want to see the best in other people. And if I can do anything to help those people, it's not just oh hey hi bye. In a relationship, men can be friends with women outside of a relationship,
That
and
is
women can
true.
be friends with men
That's
outside of a
true.
relationship. And I think that that's such the beauty. And when I was in a previous relationship, early on in a previous relationship, right, I had my own particular jealous tendencies.
Mhm.
And I think that it kind of went away probably about year 3 of being married. And now I look at it and go, well, what did I have to be worried about? Well, plenty of things. But at the end of the day, I was with that person. That person was supposedly with me. And like, I know I got full trust in you, and you got full trust in me. And so I'm just always, like you said, I'm a good human, a good hearted person. And I really just want to see people win. I'm a big
Right.
supporter of anybody that can win. And
Yeah.
whether it's my friends from my female friends in high school, my female friends in college, all the circles of HBCUs. I'm a huge fan of just wanting to see them
Mhm.
win
That's true.
and eat and win. Those are my two biggest things, is wanting to see them do.
Mhm.
So anything that I can ever do to help, I try my best to do.
Right.
And so while I do find it sweet that you're asking, well, who are all these women? I do feel like I owe them a story, because without them, there might not have been me. There might not have been us, So
Mhm.
they're a part of a story. They're a part of a journey. And so I'm just appreciative of them as well.
Yeah. Kind of smooths it over a little bit.
Well,
He did a fairly good job
I do my
of
best.
smoothing it over.
Yeah, I do my best. But I just don't feel like you have to worry about those particular things. I think that, again, when you do need to worry, it's when you ask the question, well, who is this? And it's kind of glossed over, right?
Mhm.
And so I've never been the type of person to gloss something over. I've always been the type of person to actually just tell a story
Yeah.
and then compliment the person. There's
Mhm.
been several people, the 4 or 5 that I did date or see or talk to before I met you, was they were all good hearted human beings.
Mhm.
They just weren't for me.
Right.
And yet, I'm still friends with each one of them. Matter of fact, I know one who, not to tell a lot of her particular story, but was previously married and going through something. And this is all when I just met her. And so I was able to be a person who was there to support, listen, and give advice and
Mhm.
guidance, because I had been through something like that before.
Mhm.
So, and I always want to see her succeed. I always want to hope that she finds a great guy. She's just a great human being. So that's why I'm always there. But I think when a person glosses things over, I'll give you an example. Like in my previous marriage, like I asked a particular question, right? Well, who
Mhm.
is this person? It was glossed over,
Mhm.
and I didn't catch the signs, right? And I guess that's on me because I didn't catch the signs. But at the same time, I feel it like we gave more benefit to the doubt of, hey, trusting the other person. When a person takes the time to say, hey, this person was somebody I was friends with in high school, and who, yeah, I asked her out on a date and she didn't want to go on a date, but it is what it is. We
Mhm.
all became better people, and and yet I'm still a huge friend of hers, but just a huge fan as well.
Yeah.
So I think that we need to be able to champion each other, and lift up each other.
That's true.
So, while the question is posed, well, who are all these women? I
Mhm.
think that it's also beneficial that it's great that you ask those questions, but I also think, hey, there's a story behind everybody.
Mhm.
There's a story behind every single person. What is that particular story? What does that look like? The story of a person that I met in high school, that I was friends with in high school, has a different version, has a different tale, not just of me, but has a different version of themselves and what they've gone through. And here we are, we're in our close to 50s, and we're able to tell these particular stories of what it was like when we were in high school. So, you know, those are some of my thoughts, on this particular matter. So while I did plead the fifth, I can rest
Yeah,
assured give you the most positive answer I can give.
I guess that'll work. I guess. Okay.
So let me ask this: for all those women that are out there commenting or liking our stuff or whatever, have you taken the time, or do you want to take the time to get to know them either? What about that?
Well, I haven't responded back to any of their comments. I've just been kind of, just kind of leaving it to you since you actually know them. However, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but right now I'm just kind of, just kind of letting you handle the responses and all of that. But I wouldn't be opposed to responding back. And like I said, there are really sweet comments, so nothing out of order or anything like that. But I was just curious, and when you're curious, you just ask the question.
No, I'm glad you did, and again, please go out there, like our page on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Be sure to download our podcast, listen to them. Give feedback as well, because we love the feedback, and we love to know not just what we are going through in this particular journey, but hey, if there's something that you can share to benefit us, or something that you would love to hear on a podcast as well, we would love to share that as well.
And speaking of women, we would like to say a very, very happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there, all of the mother figures out there, to our own moms. Um, and we just hope that you have a wonderful Mother's Day and just enjoy your day.
Yeah, I think Mother's Day is extremely special. Being an only child, I'm not fortunate to be where my mother is, in Florida. So it is very difficult. I think the last one I spent was probably about 3, 4 years ago with my mom on Mother's Day. And but I also want to give a big shout out to my wife, who is a mother of two. I'm a girl dad, so you did a fantastic job raising two daughters, and one that's about to give birth to our grandson. And
Mm.
so we just want to I just want to give thanks to you because you're an outstanding mother.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Once again, that sweetness that's shining through,
Don't
shining through.
don't let that sweetness fool you.
Okay, everybody. So I guess I got my question answered, about all of the women. And, we just hope that you tune in for future episodes. And thank you for joining us for this bonus episode of Hanging with the Howards. And once again, everything that's worth having is worth
Worth
the
the
wait.
wait.
See you next time.
Bye bye.